So there you go. According to you, our Newsmax viewers, Ted Cruz finished in a strong second place after that debate. His biggest moment of the night, of course, was when he attacked the moderators for the rude questioning and also rallying the rest of the candidates around him. And now we welcome in Matt Towery, chairman of InsiderAdvantage, a guy who knows a little bit more about numbers than the rest of us, especially poll numbers, and what those numbers actually mean moving forward. Matt, I wanted to ask you, there have been a lot of strong debate performances in the past two GOP debates, and I'm thinking of Chris Christie in particular. Ted Cruz has done well, not as well as he did last night, but Christie in particular has not been able to really get his poll numbers up based on his debate performance. Was there anything that you saw last night from Christie or anybody else that is really going to move the needle?
Well, yeah, there's some things. I don't know that Christie necessarily is going to be moving. That's going to be a hard move because he really hasn't had a standout moment. He sort of like it was a Me Tooer with regard to the media and that ridiculous panel, which was the most absurd panel I've ever seen in my life with their questions. That having been said, I do think Marco Rubio really put himself in good stead last night. He clearly, on most of these social media polls, is coming up. I also think that Ted Cruz helped himself because he was the first one to really go after the media, and he seemed to stand out in the minds of the public. The other thing I want to note, John, real quickly, is that the allocation of time really left Ben Carson and Donald Trump in an interesting situation. They were neither hurt nor helped by the debate, and Trump might have been helped in the sense that he was able to be kinder and nicer and gentler. That might have actually have helped a little bit. So I think that's why you're seeing the numbers for Trump in these online polls at least show him in first place.
Yeah, I thought we'd hear more from Trump, considering this was supposed to be the business debate, as it were. I want to play a clip, though, from Bill O'Reilly and his post-debate coverage last night. Let's take a listen.
But it helped the Republican candidates because quickly they seized upon, hey, the audience already hates these people, and they're actually boozed some of the questions. So now I don't have to answer their questions anymore. They're marginalized, and they can ask me whatever I want, but I'm going to ask, and they did. The Republicans didn't answer some of the questions, direct questions. Oh, no, I'm going to get to that in a minute.
And I thought that was very interesting because a lot of folks are bashing the CNBC moderators, and they do deserve some of that for the questions they were asking. But very quickly, even from the first question to John Kasich, the candidates knew they didn't have to answer any questions. But my question to you, Matt, is do voters lose out a little bit when they don't answer specific questions? There's a lot of important stuff out there.
Oh, sure. And I think they're losing out because a lot of these debates are simply not asking. Look, this was an economic debate last night. We barely talked about the debt ceiling. I mean, that's a critical issue, and it was mentioned, but hardly. We hardly heard anything about tax plans. We heard nothing about the future of the economy. We heard nothing about the Fed. To me, they're being drowned out. But let me go back to one thing. My old friend Newt Gingrich, dear friend, who I worked with his debate years ago as sort of his debate prepper, not in the presidential campaign earlier. Newt taught us last time, attack the moderator, and if you do it at the right time, you don't have to answer other questions, or you can answer them on your own ground.
Right.
And now we had not one Newt Gingrich, but we had 3 or 4 of them last night.
Yeah, you know, I wonder why they didn't employ this tactic more going all the way back to the Fox debate, because that was a pretty sorry showing from the moderators as well. Matt Towery, we'll have you back, and keep looking at those poll numbers. Thanks so much. Matt Towery, chairman of InsiderAdvantage. We always appreciate